Are you transitioning to natural hair or thinking about transitioning to natural hair? In this video, I'm going to be giving you 6 tips to transition to natural hair and make the process much easier and much smoother. Hey loves, it's Angelica and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Angelica, aka Angie B, and on this channel I share so many different tips about growing your natural hair, growing your edges, rice water, everything to do with just growing long, nice, healthy hair. Even if it's not natural, all these tips can work for you. I also share a little bit of beauty tips here and there, skincare, makeup when it's requested. So if that sounds like anything you might be interested in, please consider subscribing. The subscription button is right down there, as well as the bell icon, which just makes sure that you guys get notifications every single time I post. Without further ado, let us get straight into the video. So starting off, I just wanted to make sure that this is clear. This video for transitioning is for if you're transitioning from relaxed hair to natural, but also if you're transitioning from heat damaged hair or any other chemical treatments like a Brazilian straightening process or excessive damage from bleach and stuff like that. So this is just basically a transition into healthier hair or natural hair if you are relaxed. So the first tip, like I said, this tip is for those who are already in the transitioning process or thinking about transitioning but haven't chopped any hair off or anything like that. This is actually the most important point, and this is why I decided to put it first instead of last, because I know people like to do that, but I want to give you the most important point first, and this is your mindset. You have to know why you want to go natural. Are you doing it for someone? Do you have a boyfriend or a friend who says, you look so much better with natural hair, you should probably go natural? Or is it because your favorite YouTuber like me or any other YouTuber that you used to watch, maybe who used to be relaxed and decided to go natural, and you're like, there's no tips now, I don't think I can manage my hair, so let me just also go natural so I can go natural with them? Or is it a personal thing where you just have never seen your natural hair, or you want to just know how to deal with your natural hair, or you've been relaxed your whole life and you now finally want to go natural? There are so many reasons why people could go natural, but the only reason you should go natural is because you want to do it, not because I went natural, not because another YouTuber went natural, not because your friends are all going natural so you also want to join them, or because someone is telling you that you look so much better with natural hair. No, do it because you believe you want to go natural, because at the end of the day, it is your hair, it is growing on your head. You can do whatever the hell you want to your hair. You can flat iron it, you can bleach it, hell, you can damage it, you can do whatever you want because it is your hair. Okay, so that is the most important thing, because if you decide to go natural and for whatever reason you don't like your natural hair, or you think it's too hard to deal with, or it's not what you thought it was like, you will most likely resent the person who made you do it. And I see lots of people do this. Or just because you're copying. For example, I went natural. It took me a long time to go natural because I didn't want to copy anyone. I wanted to actually want to go natural myself, because I used to be like, I am never going natural. Why would I go natural? I am maintaining my hair. My hair is super thick and it's hard to manage, which it kind of is, but it is worth it. And I decided I wanted to go natural. So if anyone in the YouTube community who I was watching to give me tips for natural hair decides to excessively bleach or damage or relax their hair or do whatever, I'm not going to feel like, oh, so now I went natural and then now you want to go relaxed, huh? So I just wasted my time. No, it would be all on me. So let's say, for example, 2 years from now, I reach my goal length of natural hair and it's down my back and everything. However, whatever my dream length is, which is waist length, by the way, when I reach that level, if I say, you know what, I think I want to go back to natural, or I want to be a straight natural, so I'm going to keep my hair natural, but I'm going to flat iron my hair every week. That should not upset you, because this is my hair, and at whatever point, I can decide to do whatever I want with it. At this point, I don't see myself relaxing my hair ever again, but that could change. And if that changes, it shouldn't make you also think, well, now she's relaxed her hair, let me also relax mine again. No, because if I cut it again, you know, it's just hair, it grows back. Then you're going to resent those people who are making you do that. So 100% most important tip, make sure you are going natural for the right reason, and ask yourself what your intention is. What is my intention with going natural? That was so like That was so dramatic, but it's true. I mean, it is just hair, but people are very attached to their hair, and I'm one of those people. Now that that long drama is out of the way, let's get into the second point. Now, this one is what is the quickest way to transition? Because a lot of people, including me, you start to transition, you get 1 month, 2 months, and then you're just like, oh my God, I just want my long, curly, natural hair, and I want to get rid of the dead ends. And you're not sure what the quickest way is. Well, the quickest way is the worst way, which is just to big chop everything. Just chop off all your damaged hair. If your hair is damaged from the roots, then you might want to shave that off and just go full on big chop. That is not me. The quickest way is honestly patience, which means whatever you've been doing to your hair that makes you want to transition, you need to stop that and cut that out. So if your hair is heat damaged, stop using heat on your hair completely. Cold turkey. But if you can't go cold turkey, let's say you used to put heat on your hair like twice a week, cut it down to once a week. Then cut it down to once every 2 weeks. Then once every month. Just like that. Same way with relaxers. But relaxers, there's no way around it, honestly. There's nothing like relax after 6 months instead of 2 months. Because once you relax your hair, it's relaxed. There's no going back. So with the relaxer, you just need to stop relaxing your hair, and I'll get into more of the taking care of your hair part in the later points. But yes, if you used to bleach your hair, just stop bleaching it, and that'll be the quickest way for you to transition. Keep your hair healthy, be patient, the hair is going to grow, and when it reaches a length that you are comfortable with, whether it means transitioning for a year, for 6 months, then you can cut off the damaged hair and the transition will basically be over. Now, these rest of the tips are for while you are in the middle of transitioning. You've been growing your hair for how long. It doesn't matter how long you've been growing the hair for. This is going to help you just ease you into the rest of your transition so that it can be more enjoyable and you don't get aggravated. So the third tip is to use products that are equally balanced, or you would have to double up on your products, which I would not recommend because I don't like promoting being a product junkie. It's just buying so many products that are for no use. And by this, I mean find a product that works well on your natural hair, your new hair, and for your old hair. So let's say you have color treated hair. If you're trying to maintain the color or brighten it, and then you would have to use like a color, something that helps keep your color, and a shampoo on the colored part of your hair, and then on the new part you have to use something else. But let's just say you use a very moisturizing conditioner or a very protein moisture balanced conditioner. You can use that on all your hair. So you might have to go through a little bit of the product junkie phase when you're testing out what works for what products work. But once you find those products, just stick to them. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. When I was relaxed, the ORS conditioner, I can't remember the name. It's the Nourishing, Replenishing or something. I'll put a picture up of it somewhere on the screen. You guys will see it. That used to be amazing for my relaxed hair. It would make my hair so soft, so silky. It was easy to detangle. Of course, my hair was straight, but I was also texlaxed for a long time, which is like halfway between relaxed and natural. And my hair did amazing. But now when I use that conditioner on my natural hair, it just feels like really sticky and it just doesn't do well for my hair anymore. If I went back to relaxed, it would probably be the product I would go back to first. But like I said, you see how long this hair is? I am not going back to relaxed anytime soon. Anyway, what I found was lots of Shea Moisture products, like the ones I'm using actually now, like these ones, worked well on both my relaxed hair and my natural hair. So if you use those products that work for both your hair textures, then it will work really well. Now, usually chemically processed hair kind of works a little bit better with like products with a bit more chemicals in it. So you can transition your way out of it easily by starting to use more sulfate-free, silicone-free, paraben-free products. But you don't have to stop completely because, you know, I'm the person who always says, if something works for me, it works for me. If it happens to have a paraben or two in it, I don't mind it because it actually does the job. dealing with those two textures, or focusing on dealing with those two textures, will really help deal with your transition, because you won't be like, oh, this hair is amazing for my new growth, but then no, it makes my relaxed hair tangle, or this is amazing for my relaxed hair, but my new growth just feels completely matted. So find the products that will work amazing for both textures of your hair. The fourth tip is an extremely important one, because this is what leads to a lot of breakage and damage during the transitioning process, which makes people just be like, I'm either going to go back to relaxed or heat styling, or I'm just going to chop all my hair off. I transitioned for about a year before I did my big chop. So for me to do that, I had to kind of take care of my other hair at the same time. And by this, I mean, do not cause a lot of breakage. And most of breakage and damage when you're transitioning happens at the demarcation line. Now I will insert a picture on the screen of what the demarcation line looks like. And to explain it, this is basically what it is. Let's say I was transitioning, right? And this maybe up to here is my new growth. And then this is relaxed hair, which would be like straight. It would be like that. The demarcation line would be right there. The demarcation is actually self-explanatory. It's pretty easy. The demarcation where the hair, between where the hair stops being curly and where it goes straight, that line is going to be the most fragile part of your hair, because it's where the two textures connect. And if you do not take care of that part of your hair will easily break, it will easily get damaged. So what you want to do is be very gentle when you're detangling your hair all the way up to that point, and make sure whatever products you put, you make sure that that product has to be on there. Don't just like do the ends and then do the roots, because you leave out that middle section of your hair where the demarcation line is. You want to make sure you take care of all that hair, so that even when you cut your hair, the demarcation line is going to be the bottom of your new growth. That hair, you want to make sure that is nice and healthy, so you don't have to cut too far up. The fifth tip is to create and stick to a hair regimen or routine. Now, this is something you want to do whether your hair is relaxed, natural, transitioning or not, but specifically for transitioning, you want to find a routine. So remember when I was talking about finding the best products that work for two textures? Once you find those, you want to make sure that you use them on a consistent basis, or else you will not see results and you will go all the way back to square one, and nobody likes to do that. So I'm not going to suggest a specific routine that you should follow. I will suggest a couple products or what you can do, but I'm not going to say you have to follow the routine that I suggest, because everybody has different things they need to do. You might be working every single day, or you might have more free days where you can do stuff even in the middle of the week. So on a general principle, what you want to do is wash your hair at least once a week, deep condition once a week, moisturize your hair 2 to 3 times a week, and make sure that you don't over manipulate your hair throughout the week. That is like a standard regimen, and you can always tweak it and make it work for your schedule and however your lifestyle is. But you want to make sure you stick to a routine, because you will see consistent results with a consistent regimen. If you keep switching things up, your hair is also going to keep switching up, and you won't transition as smoothly as you might want to. The sixth tip is extremely important, and don't miss the last point, which is coming up soon, because the last one is just as important as the first one, but completely different. Into our sixth tip, you guys are going to see a running theme that these tips all work together, or they can work separately, but they will all work best if you use them together. And this is to learn how to detangle your transitioning hair. Now, like I said earlier on, there's your whole demarcation line. You've got 2 different textures of hair. This is so important that you learn how to detangle your hair, because the way you detangle natural hair is slightly different from the way you detangle natural hair, and doing them both together is a whole other process. So you want to make sure that you learn how to deal with both textures. First of all, you want to use a wide tooth comb. I don't care if your relaxed or damaged hair works extremely well with a really fine tooth comb. You're going to want to use something like this. I would not recommend a tangle teaser, as much as I love that. It is one of my favorite detangling tools. I would not recommend it for transitioning hair, only because at the demarcation line, it might snag at your new growth. So I would just recommend a wide tooth comb. And aside from this one, my favorite one is the shower comb. I lost mine and I just need to buy a new one. They always like have a curve at the end, and most of the time they are nice and smooth. There's nothing that's going to snag at your hair. So what you always want to do is start from the ends and work your way up to the roots. So you start detangling like this. You would start, and you want to make sure you hold this hair. Don't start detangling and hold your hair like this and just start detangling your hair going down. No, 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 no. You're going to pull out random pieces of hair because of the new growth at the base. So when you detangle, you want to hold your hair like this. Start running the comb slowly all the way up. When you reach the demarcation line, you want to make sure it's nicely detangled, and then start working your way up. I know every one of us has a tendency to get tired of detangling slowly when you reach about here, because you will see extreme damage. So once you reach your demarcation line, you want to keep combing, and then don't go to your natural hair and then do that and just take it all the way through the rest of the hair. No, you want to keep doing that all the way into your natural hair until you can run the comb through. That is the best way to detangle transitioning hair. And now for the 7th tip, which, like I said, is just as important as the first one, but also do not skip the bonus because it is also very vital. The 7th tip is to do protective styles. And this is one of the best ways that you're going to transition, because first of all, it's slow manipulation. Second of all, you don't have to deal with the awkward thing of having like a completely different texture roots to the rest of your hair. And also you don't have to deal with it because it helps with your patience. If your hair is braided up, whether it's in box braids or cornrows, and you can put it away for like a month, every time you undo it, you're going to see a difference in your hair. It will help with your patience because you won't be looking at your new growth every single day and trying to see how much your hair has grown. So it will really help with your patience, and it will help you not deal with the demarcation line as often. So you want to make sure that you concentrate on that as well. And if you want to do low manipulation hairstyles, those can also help blend your textures. Doing things like braid outs, twist outs are a little bit tricky for transitioning hair, especially when there's damaged hair, because sometimes it can be poofy at the roots and thin at the ends. But Bantu knots usually work well because they stretch your roots, so it kind of blends easier. For me, my hair was like at a very awkward length, so I couldn't even do Bantu knots. I just really stuck to doing wigs, weaves at the time. Now I actually wouldn't really recommend weaves. They're not as good as wigs. Also box braids. But with all these protective styles, you guys, I always say this, even protective styles can damage your hair if they are done wrong. You want to make sure that your hair is taken care of. You want to treat it before you go into the protective style. Do the best care you can do, and then don't braid the hair too tight, and just, you know, all the bad things that come with that. I think I have a video on how to prep with protective styles. If I do, I'll link it up in the eye right there. And now for the very important bonus point, which is exactly how I transitioned. You don't have to do a big chop, which is what transitioning is for. But what I mean is, sometimes people transition, like your hair might be really long when you're transitioning, like it might be shoulder length, and then you might grow your hair out up to even this point, as long as my hair, which is like pretty long now, guys. It's growing really fast. So imagine your hair is this long, and the new hair that you have, and then your old hair is also long like this. That means you're going to have to cut this much hair off. And if you're like me, it can be pretty painful. So what I would suggest is, as you're transitioning, you keep cutting your hair slowly, so that by the time it's time to cut, you just have to cut off about 2 inches of hair. This is what I did. If you see my big chop video, you see that my hair is actually maybe just about this long, like my relaxed hair, because I was cutting it slowly. So when it was time to do my big chop after I transitioned for a year, it didn't feel that bad because I was just cutting off a small piece. So what you want to do is, as you're transitioning, every single month, your hair will basically stay the same length for a while. Although with your shrinkage and whatever kind of texture your hair is, it might seem like it's getting shorter, but it will be basically the same length. So what you want to do is, every time you grow an inch, you cut off an inch. Or every 2 to 3 months, you cut off about 2 inches of your hair, so that by the time it's a year or 2 years, however long you're going to transition, by the time you're all natural, you're just going to have to cut off a small piece of hair and your natural hair is going to be ready to flourish. And if you want ideas on what to do as soon as you do the big chop and all that, let me know and I'll make a separate video on that. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up because it really helps me and YouTube know that you like these videos and you want more of them. Hit my face right there if you didn't subscribe in the beginning to subscribe to this channel, and watch the 2 videos on the side of the screen right here to see any of my old videos that you might be interested in. Don't forget to suggest anything you want to see in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in my next one.